Greetings, this is Skylar Saunders seeing What's Current. Daz Dillinger. Hey, honey. Honey. Throwing shade towards his cousin Snoop Dogg in the game. Now, I got a few questions. I've always been confused by this. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe it's none of my business, but it probably is part of my business because I've consumed the music from such figures as Snoop Dogg in the game. I respect both of their lyrics and their whole catalogs, um, for different reasons. But I just have some questions, not even regarding Daz Dillinger specifically, who is, and this is what's weird about the article. The article reads that Snoop Dogg is a former Crip, and that game is a one-time blood. I thought that was for life. They get it tatted up on themselves and say, "I'm this, I'm that, I'm all the above." I'm confused. I'm very confused. That whole gang culture confuses me. The only gang I know of that is close to my and dear to me is the Green Gun Club, the gang known as the United States Marine Corps. That's the gang that I know about. That's tatted on my soul forever. I can tell you about that. But what I don't understand are the Crips, the Bloods, the Latin Kings, the Aryans, the Kings, the disciple, the Black Disciples, and all of them, all the different gangs and stuff like that. They're looking for, it's youths mainly. You usually start in your youth. Salute Rick James. I'm glad you didn't say it. I thought you were going to say, "You are late, sir." No, I am not late. I'm on time. I had to get the room. Salute. I had to make sure I could secure the room. So yeah. So I'm very on the edge. It seems like I was watching the clip. They're playing some kind of gambling. They're playing some kind of card game or dice game, and they're just going back and forth between Game and Snoop and some other figures, and it's just like, what the hell? I mean, aren't Bloods supposed to be against Crips? Now I know it was early '90s when they had the purple flags, the purple bandanas, the red and the blue. Oh, that's clever. Um, they put it together. They said, we're going to stop the violence. We're going to, silence the violence and not have any more beef. And that lasted for about 2 to 3 minutes. And, people were getting smoked, blood and Crip. And some Crips kill other Crips and Bloods kill other Bloods. It's blood in, blood out. But that, it just goes on with the goofy language. They call Compton Bompton, like instead of C, and they use the B. Like, it's so goofy. The Crips, they throw up the gang signs. I learned how to do the gang sign. They make a gang sign. The Bloods make a gang sign and make it spell out blood. I was like, wow, that's pretty crafty. That was pretty crafty. I didn't expect that. But let me get into my sponsors before I go any further. Um, you can definitely check out Pang's Lifestrong Company Apparel at lifestrongapparel.com. He's got a great website. I do salute him for that. But I need some product so I can push it on this show. I need product. All right. So also you want to support B Jackson, BEEJACKSON 5478. Cooking, drinking, making it, entertaining, making it fun. He's having a good time. You should have a good time watching him. Make sure you check out B Jackson 5478 on YouTube. Also on YouTube is Spirit Smooth Tunes. He has your soul, your neo soul, your R&B, your quiet storm, your smooth jazz. He's got all kinds of music ready and available on his entire catalog. Make sure you check him out. In addition, check out twitch.tv/dot focus, DOTFOCUS_. Salute Beha. I think that's how you say. Am I saying it right? Beha. I would love to give Tone J his due. He came through with a bag for me before. Salute to Beha. I need another 20. Do what you gotta do. I'm just saying. I need another 20. Money is funny right now. Real funny. After the holidays, after all these birthdays I didn't give out, it's looking real funny. Oh, okay. It's interchangeable like Kamala. Okay, okay. I want to make sure I got your name right. I don't want to say your name wrong because people get my spell my name wrong for the most part. No, they can say the name, but they'll spell it Skylar or something crazy. So I thank you for that. So back to the gang culture. I just again, if it weren't for the bloody past and the ugly, distinction, just like racism and things of that nature, and sexism and things of that nature, it would just be comedy. It would be hilarious because it's so silly. Oh, we're gonna change the name. From it says Compton, we're gonna change to Bompton. Like I don't. You just make it because you're a blood, and you have to say you can't even say a C. You have to say Brisk Breezy, Brisk Brown. He's a alleged blood. He's not banging or slanging that I know of. It's very goofy. It's very strange. So, but the article was concerned about Daz Dillinger shading his cousin Snoop Dogg in the game. I don't know why. He says he just posted LOL, laugh out loud. If you are not informed, I'm sure you are. But he just kept on going on with the show, and it's called nigger synthesis, kids. It's when niggers get together and have agreements over bullshit. That's basically what nigger synthesis is. I learned that from the great Aaron Magruder and his comic and his animated series, The Boondocks. Nigger synthesis. He put nigga, but I say nigger synthesis. That's when niggas get together and party and bullshit and get together and get down for their crown and have a good time, supposedly have a good time. That's nigger synthesis. Just get not anything productive, not anything intellectual, just complete mess. But Daz Dillinger is just feeling some type of way about Snoop Dogg, and later in the article it says Snoop Dogg wrote these nuts from Dr. Dre's monumental album, The Chronic. Monumental album, not just a classic, but a monumental album. So we have to recognize that. We have to recognize the fact that the gang culture is so entrenched, especially in California, places like Chicago, New York. They have the Latin Kings. Chicago is is it the Black Disciple? I'm trying to remember. There's something Disciples. Trying to see. Oh yeah, MS-13. How could I forget MS-13? The Italian American Mafia, People Nation. Um, is it Gangster's Disciples? Yeah, it's Gangster Disciples out of Chicago. And these are large memberships. These are large memberships. They have anywhere from 7 to 30,000 bloods. There's anywhere from 25,000 to 50,000 Gangster Disciples. How are they that deep? Like, do you work at the bank and do you work at the bank and say I'm a Gangster Disciple, but here's your loan, ma'am? Like, I don't understand how. That's a lot of people. They're all have entertainment careers? Because that's the only way I can picture. I mean, I have a limited view. You call me stupid. No, it's not like that, Sky. You can't. No, they really get down for theirs. They roll deep. But 5,000 to 30,000, and not one of them has a regular 9 to 5. Get up in the morning and pick up your suitcase and kiss your wife on the cheek and then pat your son on the head job. You telling me that? Are you saying that? I mean, because that's the only way around it. I think the entertainment business, music and movies, stuff like that, writing books. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine how there are so many people entrenched in this gang culture that are real. I'm not denying the fact that they're part of the gang. Snoop is definitely a Crip, and Game is definitely a Blood. I mean, can you switch sides? Is that possible? Can you become a Crip if you're a Blood, and vice versa? I don't know how that works. I don't know the mechanics. It's something that they always, I wondered. That's nigger synthesis. They obviously have more information than I. I'm not familiar with it. I'm not familiar. I'm not up to speed on that level. But it's very interesting. It's something that's just trips me up. It's just a weird space to be in. It's like you got to get tapped. You got to have it in songs. You got to have and like I said, that's the thing. They have that synergy. That synthesis. The Bloods can be with Crips, and Crips can be with Bloods. Snoop Dogg spoke very highly of somebody that was not even a part of his Crip set. I can't remember Snoop's Crip set, but I know that the late great Nipsey Hussle was part of the Rolling 60s. But that was a totally different set than Snoop Dogg. And Game had, a lot of respect for Nipsey Hussle as well, even though he was a Crip and Game's a Blood. Anger is energy, Rick James says. Snoop Doggy Dogg said it best when he said every day is your birthday. I don't remember him saying that. I remember Lil Wayne said, "Dog, I got cake like every day my birthday." That's all I remember. But yeah, so it's all goofy. It's all goofy. It's just goofy. The whole setup, the whole shebang bang, all goofy, all weird. It's weird to me. I'm not in that culture. I'm not in that mind frame. And then they have the jail culture. They have the prison culture. People lifting weights on the yard, and they got bulging muscles and the tattoos and everything like that. They're I'm against you because you're a part of this sect. I mean, it's all collectivism. Yes, Rick James says it. The hip hop world is goofy. It is a goofy. The whole hip hop world, the whole thing is just goofy. But it's beyond hip hop. I'm talking beyond hip hop. Not just the genre of music. I'm talking about the subculture and the culture of Crips and Bloods and Gangster Disciples and Latin Kings and Aryan Nation and the People Nation and so on and so forth and so many others. That's what I'm talking about. I think it's very, weird. It's a weird space to be in a gang, I think. I mean, they have so many different rules and different regulations and stuff that go along with being in a gang. I don't know if some gangs you have to initiate it. You might have to just steal a purse or somebody. You might have to kill someone. Blood in, blood out. You can't leave the gang until you're killed. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's one thing that you can't do in the gang culture. You can't switch to the other side. You can't be a Blood one day and a gangster disciple another day and a Crip the next day. You can't do it. To my knowledge, I could be wrong, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think that you can't just switch up anytime. Oh, I feel like being a Crip today, even though I'm a Blood. La 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 la. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So it's weird. Okay, who said that, Rick James? I'll say who said it. I'll say the line. Matter of fact, I'll look it up first. Unless somebody didn't say it first. You talking about Morrissey? You going back to Morrissey? You going back to the Smiths? The Smith lead vocalist? Is that what you're going to do? First of the gang to die, oh my. Are you talking about Morrissey, Rick James? I'm just questioning. I'm just wondering. I'd like to know. Because this is nigger synthesis. I mean, this whole thing. I mean, there were backronyms and different things for the Crips. From what I understood, it always meant California Revolution in Progress. But that doesn't seem to be the case. This is what I got from Wicca. It says, here's the etymology. Some sources suggest that the original name for the alliance, Cribs, was narrowed down from a list of many options and chosen unanimously from the final choices over the Black Overlords and the Assassins. Cribs, with a B, was chosen to reflect the young age of the majority of the gang members. Here goes Baby Boy essay again. The name evolved into Crips when gang members began carrying around canes to display their pimp status. Okay. People I wonder what the late great uh goddamn Sinful the Pimp would have said about that. People in the neighborhood then began calling them cripples or crips for short. In February 1972, the Los Angeles Times used the term. Another source suggests Crips may have evolved from Cripplers, a 1970s street gang, and Watts, of which Washington was a member. The name had no political, organizational, cryptic, or acronymic meaning, though some have suggested stands for Common Revolution in Progress, a backronym. According to the film Bastards of the Party, directed by a member of the Bloods, the name represented a community revolutionary inter-party service or community reform inter-party service. So it's weird. It starts out, young. It starts out in the youth. I said this. I'm just looking this up. It says about young men, mainly black men, who couldn't join the Boy Scouts. See, it's about linking up, and there's nothing wrong with being part of a collective. The late great Paul Rubens. Okay, I think I'm pretty sure Morrissey had that line as well. But what I'm saying is it starts off in your youth mainly. You can't get into the Boy Scouts, you can't get into the YMCA. You got to pay membership. You got to do all these different things. You got to study all these different ways, and it's like, shoot, the Crip set, you ain't gotta have nothing. I mean, you might have to do some criminal activities, but that's not you paying for anything. That's you taking from somebody, and violating someone, in that realm, in that way. But that's the goofy part about it. That's the weird, the soft white underbelly of the gang culture. So, like I said, Snoop and Game team up. I don't understand what Daz Dillinger is throwing, shade at. He had a rift with Snoop Dogg in a video posted on Instagram, according to this article by Sam Moore on Hip Hop DX. Snoop says, in 2000, is over a decade ago, I had to cut out family members. Me and my cousin Daz fell out before. When me and him fell out, it was like, I taught you everything you know. I put you in the game, and you go against me? But that's what the laws of the game do. It puts you in this position where sometimes you have to have these types of situations to see who really supposed to be there. This shit ain't made for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody ain't gonna be an effing star. Close quote. Woo! Flame fire from over a decade ago. This is how crazy that is. That's how wild the game is. It's very weird. And especially with family members. Daz Dillinger. I mean, when was his last hit? When was his last sign? He is neither relevant nor a factor in my estimation. Daz Dillinger doesn't have a hot song out. He doesn't have an album out. He doesn't have a memoir out. He doesn't have a podcast or a broadcast, anything. Snoop is doing everything. Snoop is all over the place. I just bought his cereal. 1 second. Hold on. I'll be right back. It's right here. I'm doing a little ad. Snoop has cereal. Okay? This is Snoop cereal. If you see it, it says Brodus Foods. His name is Calvin Brodus. Okay? You understand? I'm about to tear this up tomorrow morning. So he's definitely relevant and a factor. Snoop Dogg definitely has clout. He has weight. He has albums. No, there is not ganja in it. But you know, he has power. He has might. He has everything put together. So you have to respect that. You have to respect the fact that Snoop has been in the game for so long. Daz Dillinger just didn't. He said he can't. Everybody can't be a star. That's what Snoop said. Daz Dillinger is not really a star. He's not really a factor or relevant. He's. I mean, the closest he came was to this article. On it's not really even about him so much. It's more about Snoop Dogg and Game. And I respect Game. I like Game's songs. I like his name drops. I like the history he has in his songs, the different, ways he represents for people. I think that's, very cool. And that's classy. The way he names drop people and puts a history to things. Rick James says, I respect Snoop Doggy Dogg more than anyone else in the hip hop world, to be honest. All right. I can respect that. I can't agree with you, but I respect it. So you have one person, definitely that can say that there's a disconnect between the cousins, Daz Dillinger and Snoop Dogg. And there's in the videos chopping it up. Game's got a paradise, paradise. But they're got diamonds in them from Snoop, and that's what it is. Smoking and drinking, and don't blowing down the law, as they say, and drinking on something good, some rot gut, and that's how they do it. But I'm still confused. And maybe it's not for me to know. Maybe it's not for me to know. Okay? I just observe. And report. Rick James says, I think Snoop Doggy Dogg is what Tupac could have been. You're smoking on something real strong. You're doing angel dust. You're doing something really strong, sir. Very, very strong. Because I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Snoop couldn't even be in Tupac's sneakers. He couldn't hold his jock strap. Okay? Let's get that out of the way. Snoop was nowhere even in the league of what Tupac was. Not even close. Not even on a rhyming scale, not on a content scale, not on any other scale. And Tupac died when he was 25. Okay? So Snoop is like 50, what, 53? Let me see. Snoop is just looking up his age. Age 53. 52. Snoop is 52. He had more time than Tupac to get his act together and get on board with, a conscious, creative front. But Snoop Dogg just, stayed on to the party of bullshit. He really doesn't have a whole lot of songs of substance. He really has a very few. They'll let you move your body. You'll be moving. You'll be saying the lyrics. Oh, that was some cool lyrics. Oh, that was cool. But they really don't have any weight. They don't have anything to them. Tupac's got Dear Mama. He's got Changes. He's got Brenda's Got a Baby. He's got Keep Your Head Up, amongst a whole host of other songs that have weight, that have sincere, poetic weight to them. Yeah. Thank you, Baha Jackson. Baha Jackson says Snoop hated on Pop. He could never be Pop. That's facts. That is facts. So true. It's the reality. All right, now Rick James is definitely on the dust. He's definitely on angel dust. He just said nothing but a G thing alone is better than Tupac's whole career. Now that's just complete bullshit. Completely bullshit. Yeah, Snoop ain't, he really doesn't have bars for bars. He doesn't have, he's got a flow. Snoop probably has one of the best flows of all time. There's no doubt about that. There's probably no doubt that Snoop has a great flow and can write. But when it comes to the content of the writing, he cannot even come close. Yeah, Rick James is trolling. I think Rick James is trolling. He's trolling. He knows when to troll. He knows when to troll. He usually comes up with stuff like, have you had some you know what from some young guy? Like he said that he trying to get me to say it. I've never said it. I haven't even said the full thing today. So Rick James is definitely trolling. But like I said, this is called nigger synthesis. So when niggers get together on some old bullshit, not talking about stocks and bonds and the fluctuations of the market or and things of that nature. Just going back and forth talking bullshit. That's it. See, Rick James got the laughing, crying faces because he knows it's true. Yes, excellent flow. Exactly. That's what Baja Jackson just said. Excellent flow, great flow. Blueface could learn from him, and he's in a gang. I think he's a Crip too. Blueface. I just don't. I think it's weird. It's very weird. That's that whole space to be in, and since they, had the they don't have as many flare ups. I don't think as they used to do. But I'm just saying, there's like 25,000 to 30,000 of them. Seriously, do they? Can you have a face tattoo and work at Dunkin' Donuts? Dunkin' says gangsters disciples have the GD on your cheek. Can you do that? Is there somebody out there? Is at least one person out there? Is there one? Is there one? I want to know. I would love to know. You let me know. Run tell that. Yeah, so it's a special period in any man's life to make that decision. Do I want to be in the gang with the history and the idea of being criminals and low lifes, or do I want to be in a gang called the United States Armed Forces? That's probably one of the biggest gangs in the world. There's over 1 million. Maybe there's 2 to 3 million. I think it's 2 to 3 million. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't check the numbers, but I think there's at least 1 million armed forces. People in the armed forces: soldiers, sailors, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, space. Oh, what are they called? God damn it. They're not cadets. I want to say cadets every time. Space Force. Guardians. Guardians. So yeah, and airmen. So do you want to make that choice? Do you want to make that decision? Some people already have. I think there's some people that were Bloods and Crips and were able to, if they didn't commit a crime or if they didn't get caught catching a crime, they were able to enlist or to, go through the officer ranks. I'm sure at least one person has. At least one person had to be in the Crips and Bloods or GD or Latin Kings, Morade. Rick James asked me, "Sir, do you like Travis McCoy?" I don't know. Travis McCoy, I'm gonna have to look that up. Is that Travis? I'm just now. Oh yeah, yeah, he's cool. I do like. He was the front man for Gym Class Heroes. Yeah, he's cool. I remember he hasn't put in a lot of work. He's been sidestepped for some quite some time. He hasn't had a album since 2022, going on 2 years. But yeah, I like Travis McCoy. I couldn't remember exactly who that was, but yeah, he's cool. I liked it when Gym Class Heroes. It was cool. I like that whole album, like his style. Not the best rapper, to come out the gate, but I like how his flow was. Like again, like Snoop. He's kind of like Snoop. He has a good flow. And they have a positive message. You can be the gym class hero. You can be the kid that everybody laughs at and still be cool. That's me. You can laugh at me. Remember me from the back of the class, the glasses, the one you used to laugh at? You like fruit? I'm chewing on your girl's nipples. How you like those apples, asshole? Who can name me who said that or what album that was on? Who can name that right now? Look it up if you must. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. That was the incomparable, late, great, Big Pun. He was a lyricist. That was a man that was about his lyrics. He didn't go into deep set subjects and stuff like that, but the way he drew lyrics was just amazing. So I have to give him credit. Now, yeah, he did. No, it's called Billionaire. It wasn't called Millionaire. It was called Billionaire. Rick James. He said he did a collab with Bruno Mars' Millionaire song. It was called Billionaire. But I want to spend this last half of the show promoting my interview. I have an interview coming up at 7:00 this evening. I don't know what it's going to be on. I think it's going to be on. You can catch it on StreamYard. I guess just look for my name. I don't know really, but I'm being interviewed by a man. Hold on, let me see. I have to see who. His name is Kevin White. Kevin White is supposed to be interviewing me, and I'm excited. It's gonna be my first interview regarding this show. He called me an influencer. I wouldn't say I'm an influencer yet until I get at least 1 million views and at least 500,000 subscribers. Not yet an influencer. Not yet there. Not quite at that point. Not quite. Not really. Not at that level yet. Yeah. So yes, an interview, Rick James. So I'm very fortunate to be on his platform. He has various different personalities that have come to his platform, and he is interviewing. I think the interview will be live. I think so. It's going to be recorded, I'm sure, but I think it will be live. So check out StreamYard and look up my name, I guess, or look up Kevin White and Skylar Saunders. Make sure you check that out. It's gonna be something special to me, it's gonna be history. First interview ever for my show. I've never been interviewed before in that fashion, and especially not on this platform. I'm usually doing interviews. I'm a newspaper man. I was a journalist in high school. I was associate editor of the Yellow Jacket Buzz. So I know what it's like. What is StreamYard? Look it up, Rick James. There's a thing called the Google. There's a thing called Bing. There's a thing called Yahoo. Look it up. That's what you got to do. What is a StreamYard? Look it up. But I'm excited. I'm really gonna plunge into this, putting my all into it. Let everybody know, what I am doing, what I need to be doing, getting this money. That's the whole point of this show. I have to put in great work. I have to put in excellent quality work to get paid. That's what I've been doing. I made over $1,000 tax-free on this project, on this broadcast. So I'm very fortunate to be interviewed by this man who has showed himself to be approved. So I'm really about to eat these right now. Look at this. I'm about to get this, really. I'm about to do this. Tomorrow morning it's gonna be a problem. You only use Firefox, so you can go on Bing, can't you? There's no search engines on the web browser? What are you doing? Where are we going? What's happening? Where are we going? I don't know, but yeah. So I have this interview coming up tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Eastern time. So if you have time, make sure you log in, tune out. Live taste test review. What are you talking about? I don't even know. Rick James, that angel dust must be really eating at your brain cells. I don't know what's going on. What's really happening, my friend? We're good, but sometimes you just be on some other stuff. So I think it's gonna be cool. He was in the if I'm not wrong, Air National Guard. He he served, for a few years. So I'm just overjoyed. I was happy at the prospects. Um, it's good to know. It's good to go. So appreciate whoever came in. Make sure you put in, a little something in the collection, a little something in the collection plate. Have you heard Green Day? Rick James, seriously, I'm an '80s baby. I'm a late '80s baby. Came up through the '90s. What you talking about, Dookie? What you want to talk about, American Idiot? What you want to talk about? Let's go. Where are we going? Come on now. And you spell, yeah, you corrected yourself. Come on now. Have I ever heard of Green Day? Of course I've heard of Green Day. Wake Me Up Before September Ends. Uh, Good Riddance. Come on now. What is it? Jesus Suburbia or something like that? Can't remember. Oh. Favorite Green Day songs? Gotta be Good Riddance. Gotta be Good Riddance. Gotta be Good Riddance. I love Good Riddance. Second one would be Wake Me Up Before September Ends. And third is maybe third would probably be Boulevard of Broken Dreams. So it goes Boulevard Broken Dreams at 3. Uh, Wake Me Up Wake Me Up When September Ends. Number 2, number 1, Good Riddance. But there's a lot of songs I like about them anyway. Don't want to be an American idiot. I can't say anymore because I get a copyright strike. But yeah, they're great. I love them. I love Green Day. But back to this interview. This interview is big for me. I don't know where it's gonna go. I can get more views. I can get more likes. I can get more subscribers, or I can get zero. That's the beauty about all of this internet thing. Anyway, I can't say that I have got $0. I've had over $1,000. I'm looking for 10,000, 100,000, 100,000,000, billion. That's what I'm looking for. I'm headed towards that space. I'm putting in the work. So it says that Kevin White has been a 30-year Air Force veteran, published author, owner of Brownie Fox Publishing Company, public speaker, and he's been a columnist at American Free News Network, works at Brownie Fox Publishing CEO since 2019 to the present, and hosted the American Allegiance radio show at the Patriot Nation Radio Network. He went to Wright State University. He's married to his wife, Carolyn Smith White. He seems like a good, all-around guy. He's a digital creator. That's at the top of his, page. He's a digital creator, so I know what that's like, digital creator. All right, Rick James, I'm not even going to answer that because that's not even autocorrect. That's the autocorrect in your head that needs to be considered. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, he seems like a great patriot, and we have to be careful with the name patriot too. You have to be careful with it because it could blow up in your face. You know, a lot of people say patriot means God, family, and guns. You know what I mean? Like that's a patriot. That's that's who you are as a patriot. That's a very conservative slash rightist, viewpoint. But that's who he's mainly interviewed, people on the right. Especially the religious right or the faithful right, I should say. Um, yeah, so he's got a good following. He's got 4.5 thousand followers on Facebook, and it seems like he has his life together. So that's a beautiful thing. I'm just excited. I can't wait. I don't know if it's going to mess up. I'm already kind of like somewhat on the edge because I don't know if the stream is going to go through or anything like that. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't tell you yet. I can't say it. I can't let it out of the bag. Again, Rick James is at 7 o'clock Eastern time. 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Will you be doing an outfit change beforehand? I was just thinking that. I don't know. I might just stay with this, but again, I might change it up and let everybody know I have a different look. But that's where I am right now. That's the point I am right now. Rick James says that only gives me an hour to figure out what the hell StreamYard is. I didn't know really, to be honest. I heard about StreamYard, but I never really got into it. I don't know where the money is. I don't know where the money is on YouTube, but I don't know where the money is on StreamYard. There probably is money on StreamYard. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. But maybe after this interview, I might, broadcast on YouTube and StreamYard and see how much money I can make. Because it's all about this dollar. Don't get it confused, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages. It's all about the mother money. Okay? That's what it's all about. Don't think, oh, family and friends, and it's about the money. Every one thing in this entire universe that isn't tied to money, you can't. It's impossible. You really can't, because money has something to do with property rights, and property rights are the only thing that should govern anybody, and I mean anybody, any group or organization or any individual throughout anything. It is not a paid interview, Rick James. I'm not getting paid for this, but I'm going to get exposure. I'm going to get his, base, and hopefully my, struggling base. I only got one person viewing. I think that's you, Rick James. I got 3 likes. I have 463 subscribers. That's how I checked. And it's still at 463 subscribers. So I don't have that many. So I would have a lot. Some people got yeah, Rick James, yeah, he's talking about some OJ's lyrics. Money. Yeah, I'm very, focused and set on this interview. I really am. I truly am focused and set on it. I appreciate, anyone who can recognize my greatness. I've achieved it. I've achieved greatness. It hasn't been recognized fully, but I have achieved it. Greatness in the sense that I've been able to set out on even a small level and show that I am worthy of this video and microphone and everything that goes with it. I love the hate. I need the hate. I got hate. It's weird. It's a weird situation when you have people like, oh, you need to get your lighting and your setup better. I'm like, well, where's the money for you to send it to me? I mean, you're so concerned. Send me the money and I'll get the lighting and setup better. But I like to hate. I like to hate. Oh, this guy's goofy. He looks like Star's son. Oh, that's definitely Scott Star's son. Oh my God, Star's his father. Like, that's cute. Everybody said that. No, no, you're not the only one that said that. You're not in a class by yourself. Um, you're in a whole legion of other people that said that. I need that hate though. I like to hate more than people that say like keep going. I'm like, thanks, I will. Like, but I like the hatred because the hatred will get to the point. They'll say, look, you need to get this together. You need to have this, have on all this point. I like the hatred. I need hate. That it may not even be an objective hate, but it's hatred. It's hate. That's the beauty of it. That's the greatness. And some people don't recognize that. Some people don't realize that. Some people don't see the upside of hating. I was up to 3 people watching. Now I'm down to 1. Still Rick James. I salute to Rick James. He says some crazy stuff at times, but for the most part, he's been in almost day one. He came on a few months after. I guess it was like 2.5 months. What was it, like July or August, something like that when you came on, Rick James? After the Paul Rubin, late great Paul Rubin, that show I had 239 people watching just because of the lettering in the show, just because of the just because of the title. In July, okay, so it was in July. So July, when it was July, so that was about 3 months after I had first started. It was April 15th, 2023, when I first started this show. And Rick James saying he cried all day. Will the internet be conducted in the Cowboys room? Yes. Not in the blue room, no. We lost the late great Paul. Okay. Still not over his death. Okay. Some people aren't, some people are. I can't cry for a cracker, honestly. I'll never cry over a white man. It'll never happen. White woman, I might shed some tears. I might shed some tears for the white woman, but I probably won't. But I'm just saying more so than the white man. But yeah, so many, so many people hate, and I need that hate. I need it. I don't need. I appreciate, or she's in summary. She says, he says, I appreciate the positivity. I appreciate the support, but I need the hatred more so, because the hatred is what motivates. Hate motivates. It does. It makes sure you're on your square. Make sure you're on top. Make sure you're on your dean, as they say. And make sure that you're ready to be, on focus and in tune with what you really want to say and what you want to be. So that's what I'm looking forward to in this interview. I'm just going to be who I am, what I am, and what I do. I'm thinking about it. It's Rick James. You were reading my mind. I don't, it might be some telepathy stuff or something like that. Because I was just thinking that should I change up my attire? Should I wear something different? I might do that. I might change up my attire. I might throw on a different shirt or something like that, and a different hat. Yeah, so that's what I plan on doing. That's what I'm not gonna. Okay, you spelled where wrong. It must be the autocorrect. And one of the Cowboys that you didn't capitalize cowboy, and it's Cowboys with an S. Rick James. Tisk 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 nigga tisk. But yeah, so it's gonna be a ride. It's gonna be a good ride. I think he's a very knowledgeable man, very educated. Spent 30 years. I mean, that's mind blowing. I spent a year and a half in the Marine Corps, and I'm getting paid top dollar, 100%. It just works out that way sometimes. I don't know. Oh, you're lucky. You got lucky. No, I just was honest. I was just honest. Rick James, if you ever put that lyric in my live, I will block you. I will seriously I hate that song. I hate that. God, I hate that song. Steve Miller Band, The Joker. Oh my God. God, I hate that song. That is like one of the worst songs ever. It is not a great song, sir. No, it's terrible. Hate that song. Wanna shake your tree. La da 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 da. Like, oh my God, I hate that song. That's one of the songs I hate. I just hate that. Talking about I'm a midnight toker and shit. Like, what? Get out of here. It's goofy. That's what I'm talking about, though. That's what I'm saying. Like Kevin White, I just want to make sure let you know that I'm ready and prepared to have anything come my way. I don't know what the topics are going to be. I don't know if he's going to go into this particular stream. I don't know exactly what he's going to do, but it's going to be something special. I think it's going to be something worthy. So I think it's going to be a good thing that's going to happen. Rick James, you're going way off topic, sir. You're talking about some Amityville horror. I don't believe anything spooks and ghosts and goblins and if you're a Christian or if you're a Muslim, if you're a Jew, you have to believe in those things. The Jews have a golem. You ever heard of a golem? It's like a monster. It's like a mythical monster that they concocted. Christians have all kinds of monsters and demons and lakes of fire and stuff like that. It's a detriment to the mental health. That's all it is. It's bad psychologically. It's bad for your health. I can say that about faith. It is bad for your health, for your mental health. To subscribe to something that isn't there, subscribe to something that doesn't exist, that's a problem. That's the issue. But this issue is my interview. My interview tomorrow, or tomorrow, tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe tomorrow for some of you. I don't know. And for Keith, I don't know. Where's Keith? Is Keith? Let's see what time it is. It's 7:55 in the morning where Keith is. What do you mean? What is a last minute interview? We were planning this for the past few weeks. I wouldn't say it was a last minute interview. No. You put MJTE. Rick James is all over the place. Are you saucy? Are you off the angel dust? Are you off the powder? What are you going on? You got the Jesus juice going flowing? Oh man. That's the beauty about this stream, at least. I can have 2-3 people in here watching, but the rebroadcast goes up to like 15 to 20. And I wanted to have the 15,000 to 20,000, 15 million to 20 million, 15 billion to 20 billion views. See if that's possible. You got to be in it to win it. I'm in it. I'm in the game. I'm not, scoring too high, but I can get there. I can get to 1,000 people by the end of this month. I know that. And definitely with this interview, yeah, yeah. That's how Simple the Pimp used to say. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know. Salute to him. Rest, rock and power to him. Rock and power to the late great Simple the Pimp. It used to be Simple the P, but he's dead now, so it's right back to Simple the Pimp. It doesn't matter if you call him a pimp or not because he's dead. But he was a good guy. He was a great guy. He had 100 tons worth of game. He didn't have game by the pound. He had games by the ton. Just putting people in their perspective places. I didn't I agree with him on things like eating coochie and eating ass. Like I'm that guy. I eat a chick's ass. I eat a chick's coochie. But he wasn't into that. He was like, "What if she farts in your mouth and stuff like that?" I was like, "Man, well, you suck a fart out of her ass, and that's all you gotta do." You know, I've been there. It's not a bad thing. It's very enjoyable. I enjoy the time with a nice female, a nice woman. That's what I like to do in my spare time. Haven't done it in over a decade, to be honest. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not gonna lie. If I lie, then you say, "Oh well, if you're gonna lie about this, what are you lying about that?" You know, it's like I gotta tell the truth at all times, even when I lie. Like that's Scarface. I always tell the truth, even when I lie. To please her, you need to pleasure her. I don't know what you mean. I'm not. What is to pleasure her? I'm getting the pleasure from it. I can jerk my joystick all day long, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna necessarily, you know, have a orgasm with a female. Only time I had an orgasm in a female's mouth. That's about it. But it felt crazy because she wasn't a whore. She's actually a good, upstanding citizen with great repute. She had an excellent reputation to follow her. But things we did some things. That's all I gotta say. There's some good times. You know, I really appreciated, her whole life. And now we may get into that during the interview. I don't know. I'll see what happens. I wonder if that will occur. I wonder what kind of interview this is going to be. This is actually going to X-rated chat. Well, I'm trying to use as best language as I can without going overboard. Just using the best diction I can conjure up and use to my advantage. So during this interview, I may go into that, may go into my past history as a Marine, an active Marine. I'm always going to be a Marine. Even people that go into start in the Marines and switch over to the Air Force, or start in the Air Force and switch over to the Marines. Once you become a Marine, you're always a Marine, unless you're like Lee Harvey Oswald or something like that. That's when you stop being a Marine. When you do something that's out of bounds. When you do something that's out of bounds, that's when it happens. All right, BS. You want to talk it out with Rick James? Y'all want to talk it out? You're free to do so. You're free to talk it out. I'm not gonna get in between both of y'all. Y'all can do whatever you got to do. I got 4 likes. One person in here. Is it you, BS, or Rick James? It's BS. Okay, BS. You're talking reckless. You're talking really reckless. I don't know if you're in the same zip code as Rick James, but you're talking real spicy. Talking about his daughter and everything like that. You're talking real spicy. I'm gonna let you two talk it out as best as you guys can. Yeah, I know, Rick James. I can say your name, but I'm gonna just call this other person BS. That's all I'm gonna start off with. It's calling him BS. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to call him. So I'm just figuring out, the best way to say it. But hey, it's been real. I'm gonna get ready for my interview. See what happens. Okay, yeah. So they're having a problem. So I'm about to finish this and get ready for my interview. Getting ready for my close up. You know, have everything ready for that. And I will see you tomorrow. I will talk about my interview that time. It'll be like a post interview analysis. But I thank you very much. And make sure I get hair and makeup. Yeah, I know. I may not need the hair, but I might need to put some makeup on. I don't know. Ooh, no. Oh no. Don't do it to him, Skylar. Oh no, honey. Um but yeah, so that's where I am. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, Rick James, Baha, Jackson, and even BS. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you very much. Take care.